it again.
We are live. We are live. We are live. We are live. Go
All
ahead.
right, all right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is George Lopez, your host for the Empowered Lifestyle Podcast. Alongside me is my amazing wife, Shemaine.
Thank you.
How you doing, baby?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I am doing outstanding, outstanding. And with us this evening, we have our guest, Miss Venetta Charles.
Yes.
Miss
Yes.
Venetta, what do you need to introduce Miss Venetta Charles?
Well, first, I just want to say thank you to our guest. Thank you, Venetta, for being our guest today. We're so grateful to have you with us today. And then those that are watching, we thank you so much for tuning in to the Empowered Lifestyle Podcast. We're grateful that you watch us and that you are part of our community. And we hope that this conversation today will be beneficial to you. We hope that you'll be able to take away some really good things from it. If just a little bit about the Empower Lifestyle podcast, we have conversations with folks who are inspiring, who are encouraging, who are provide education, and who are empowering. Because of course, you know, ELN is our Empower Lifestyle Network is built on working with individuals and content that inspires, encourage, educate, and empowers. And so I'm grateful to introduce you today to Ms. Venetta Charles. This is not a scripted program. So because it's not scripted, we have our guests introduce themselves and then we get into the conversation. So Ms. Venetta Charles, please introduce yourself to our audience.
Well, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. And thank you, George and Charmaine, for having me as your guest today. It is indeed a pleasure. Good day, everyone. I am Venetta Charles, and I am the proud founder and owner of Legacy Connections, preparing today for the future. And we are a coaching business. And what I do is I help my clients get from where they are today to where they want to be. So we do that using various modalities, and we are just happy to be able to be here so that we can share a little bit about what we do, who we are, and how we're here to help our community. And we definitely don't want to leave out our children. We have a program for our youth. My niche is definitely financial, personal financials, leadership, and relationship building. So I can speak on any of those matters. If you hear an accent, I'm from St. Thomas, Virgin Islands, Master Certified Professional Life Coach, and I'm here to serve.
Well, I am so impressed by the fact that you're a mastered certified coach and then the wealth of your skills and abilities as well as experiences. We're really grateful to have you on our platform today and to be in this conversation. So I also know that you are a military veteran.
I
And
am.
so we thank you so much for your service.
Thank you
Those
for supporting.
that serve, we owe a world of gratitude for your service. So we're just so grateful for you. We are a military family as well. We have children who are in the military. My husband, 30 years in the military, and we know how important it is. Well, for those who serve and those who support those who serve. And so we're just so grateful for you. Thank you so much for your service.
You're quite welcome, and thank you all for supporting. And to our veterans listening, you may hear something today that may just intrigue you. So thank you.
All right.
All right, Venetta, I want to say thanks again for your service from one veteran to another. I greatly appreciate you. And the world would not be a safer place if it weren't for people like us. So
Yes, I agree.
once again, thank you. So what made you got into the field of finance?
The reason I got into the vast field of finance, more so personal finance, is I too myself have not always been thrifty with money. And I had the opportunity, pretty young in my naval career, to meet a financial advisor that gave me some sound advice that I took. And so that's where my love of helping people with their finances came from. So it was a journey.
Mm. Well, we're grateful that you took this journey because it's a journey that everyone needs to be on, right? Because finance is just like health and because we say health is wealth, and if your health is not well, it's going to cost you greatly financially. And if you can have all the finances in the world, if you don't have health, it's the reverse, right?
Most definitely, most
Yes.
definitely.
Yeah, so we're so grateful that you're on this journey because I truly believe that all families, all individuals need to know about finances. That was a master certified life coach. Can you explain to us what that means as for that individual who you coach and what it means for you?
So I've always loved helping people, speaking to people about um, whatever they would come to me with that would whatever issue or problem. um, I would always ask, so what does the future look like? And being in the financial space, particularly the personal financial space, I found myself just not counseling or coaching um, uh, in that realm, but everything in our lives, if you think about it, um, has something to do with money and finances. So, like I said, I found myself coaching people or speaking to them about their future endeavors. And so I could do that professionally and have that credential. I decided to become a um, a life coach and more in depth in leadership, relationship, and financial coaching. And then I decided I needed to go a little bit more, and so I'd be able to service anyone that I came in contact with. And so therefore, I decided to pursue the master certification so that more doors can be open and I could be able to help more people. So that was the journey.
Okay, wonderful.
Yes.
So, as a certified master coach, what would well, I want to the first question I want to ask is, what do you think everyone need to know when it comes to their financial health? What is that one advice that you will give
Mhm.
everyone when it comes to their financial health?
Well, your financial health, your health is your wealth. And if you don't have your health, there isn't much you can do with your wealth. And but first of all, I would like to say I think everyone needs a coach. We can all, I have a coach, I actually have two. Um, so I think everyone needs a coach for whatever it is that you're going through, or things that you have questions about that you really can't process. So that would be the first thing I would say. And just just to elaborate a bit, coaching and counseling are two separate things. So counseling deals with things that are in your past. Coaching deals with things um, that the here and now and the future. Uh, so, as far as your financial health, I I sometimes, when I speak to people about their financial health, I tell them, I said, money isn't everything, but it touches everything, and everything we do, um, you know, we're paying for this, using credit for that, and sometimes that can become an issue for some people. And, statistics say that 40% of Americans are in debt with credit cards. and they even if they get their credit, even if they get their credit together, they still are coming out with some type of debt, whether it be student loans, and we know we have heard that, you know, student loans are what our college graduates and you know, folks that go on to do bigger and greater things with their education. If they go into a master's or a doctorate degree, that just compounds that issue. So, yes, your finances are very much in tune with your health. And I'm one of those folks that help you to get that together and help you to see what that looks like if you go on that journey.
Okay.
Awesome. Venetta, there's some of the myths that we grew up listening to about money. And how can you dispel some of those myths? For example, money does not grow on trees, or, you know, whatever it is that you can think about that has caused a lot of people not to save their money or not to invest in their money. Can you think of some of those?
Money is evil.
Exactly. Money is the root of all evil. You know, that's one of them. So how are you able to dispel some of the myths about money as you go about doing your job?
Uh, to
Can
dispel
you hear
some
me?
of the myth, yes, I can hear it. To dispel some of the myth, I would first say that you have to understand, or the individual will have to want to understand how money is impacting their lives. If it's impacting their lives negatively or in a positive way. And you know, there are money trees now that you can purchase. And I have one here on my table. But money doesn't grow on trees. I've never plucked a 20 off of that tree.
Yeah, but
No, no, it doesn't grow on trees, but and there's so many myths about money, but the I'm here today to share that money, you can have your money work for you.
mhm.
And there are several ways that you can do that. And don't be despair if if you haven't always been kind with money. I always tell folks that the first place you want to start is with that emergency fund, and in starting that emergency fund, which can be anywhere from 3 to 6 months. For some people, it needs to be a little bit more. It's just a start. Start somewhere, even if it's $10, $20. Start somewhere so that you can bust those myths and not let that be your legacy. I like to speak about legacy building, and that's what my practice is about. It's about legacy building. What would you want to leave for your family? But just not leave it for them, but teach them about it, so that they can continue the legacy. And that's where, the we can take a deep dive into how does that look like, building a trust, investing, insurance, which is the foundation of any good financial plan. So yes, I could go on and on about that. Thank you for that question.
Yes. So what do you do when someone says, "Oh, I don't want to get life insurance because if I get life insurance, I'm gonna die." Like, how do you handle that?
The good news is that life insurance is just not for when you in your untimely demise. Life insurance can be used. There are various products with different attributes to them that you can use today. Uh, I'll just share one, the Index Universal Life. That is a powerhouse of a of a policy of a financial. It's a financial powerhouse, and there's so many things that you can do with an Index Universal Life, better known as an IUL. So like I said, life insurance has evolved, from term insurance to whole life to now you have the indexes. And so you can definitely use it. You can borrow against. There's so many different things if it's structured properly that you can do. So life insurance is not just for the I hate to say the dead, but your untimely demise, but it's here that you can use it. Like I said, if it's structured properly in an IUL, that you can use it while you're still living, even to take a trip if that's what you want to do.
You know, Vanetta, with cost of living on the rise, how would you break down your income, or how should people break down their income on a monthly basis as far as the percentage? How would you recommend that that's done?
That's an awesome question. Um, uh, I use different formulas for different clients based on where they are after I do a financial analysis on them. Uh, there's the 50-30-20 plan. There are different plans that you can use, but every plan is not for everyone because not everyone starts at the same place where 50% goes into um, expenses for the home, if you have a mortgage, um, uh, children in school, um, and then the 30% goes to your investments and so on and so forth. And then or is 30, the 15 to 20% can go towards, whatever you decide that, your everyday um, expenses, your emergency plan, like I mentioned before. So there are various tools and modalities that we can use for our clients. And it's very rewarding to see someone come with what they think may be uh, such a great hill to climb. And by the end, it's cut down and it looks like just a pathway, just a beautiful pathway. So it's the key is to start and to start somewhere and to start with someone that has the fiduciary. We as financial and as coaches have the fiduciary responsibility to our clients to make sure that we're doing the right thing by that client. So it's all about relationship building and like I said, doing the right thing by that client. And I always say also that not every practitioner is for everyone. So it's a nice dance that you interview whoever it is that you want to be your coach and go from there.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's a great response. Now, if somebody wanted to reach you, Vanetta, what's your contact information? How can they reach you?
They can reach me at info@legacyconnectionteam.com. They can also go to our website at Legacy Connections, preparing today for the future. My contact phone number is 757-663-1495. You can call me, text me, email, go to the website, make an appointment. Yes, those are the way, and I encourage everyone. Like I said, everyone needs a coach. You may need a business coach, you may need a life coach. There's someone out there. You don't have to feel alone in whatever it is that's keeping you awake at night, or the same recurring thoughts keep coming back to you. It might be time to seek assistance, and we're here to help.
Mm. Thank you for that. Really appreciate that. So, what people who are serving in the military, or maybe who may be retired and they have an income coming in on a monthly basis, and they may say, you know what, I'm good. What advice would you give them? Those that are currently serving and those that are retired, with regard to their finances.
Um, I will I will say to those veterans that are retired that are still serving, uh, our and George, you can attest to this. The life insurance that you have, I'll just speak about life insurance first, and then I'll move forward. Because, like I said, that's the baseline. That's the foundation of any good financial home. Even if you even if you do investments, uh, uh, you know, when you're in the military, and I think some of us, while we were in, we have a false sense of, this is great. We're here. We're going to be here for a while. If they're a career person like you, I, George, and got to retirement. And so, what I would like to say is be mindful that insurance stops. It's a term policy. I don't want to alarm you. I don't want to scare you, but it's a term policy, and with term, it stops. So as soon as you get out the military, that goes away. I encourage you, at some point to look at um, starting that foundation. And one of the things that I would like to say also is that the older you get, the cost of insurance goes up, right? And as we get older, sometimes we get an ache or pain here or there, and that could disqualify you um, from uh, getting to that goal. So that's one thing I would want to say. The other thing I would want to say is, yes, the military is a great foundation, and to start thinking about your money, because you get a steady paycheck twice a month, and look at what you want your future to look like. I know we have TSP, but understand exactly what your TSP is doing for you. Where's that money going? I would like to speak a little bit about, if I may, in 2007, 2008, actually rolled over a little bit into 2009 when the market tanked. Uh, a lot of folks lost their retirement savings. And some of that money was, if it's not structured properly, whether in TSP or 401k, whatever have you, that can look a little different. And if you're not retirement, um, if that's not your goal, that's okay. But you still need to, like I said, that legacy building. Start looking towards the future and what that looks like. And we're here to help you, just look at it, um, talk about whatever is going on with you, because sometimes it's not so much about getting people um, to build those foundations. Sometimes we have to get them to where they are savvy enough, or their thoughts and their actions are aligned with um, it's like preparing them to to save, or to build that foundation. And sometimes it's a mental block. So we take them uh, you know, through talk therapy. And yeah, so that's what I would say to our vets. I love our vets.
Yeah, yeah. And in addition to that, I just want to add that as veterans, we need to take advantage of the no money down, that veterans home loan. Yeah, take advantage of that. Just talking
Yes,
from a real estate perspective,
yes.
since I'm an agent. But that was a great response, Venetta. Yeah, great response.
And you can use it more than once. You can use that, yeah, you can use that VA certificate over and over and over again. So it's not a lot of folks think it's a one-time thing, but it's not.
Yeah.
So thanks for bringing that up.
So, Venetta, how are you reaching out to the kids? Because we're dealing with baby boomers, we're dealing with the great generation before us, we're dealing with the Gen Zs and
Gen X.
the Gen Xs. How are you able to get to the folks in elementary school? Because that's where they need this type of financial information. Are the schools teaching this kind of stuff for them to learn? How are you able to get to the kids?
So right now it's gotten to the point in our business that we are getting ready to start a 501(c)(3),
Mhm.
uh, uh, so that we can actually move that initiative forward. So we've been into various schools, um, just speaking about the foundation of financial planning. And we call it financial planning, uh, and they look at it and they go, huh? And so we start by explaining to them. So at Christmas time, by the time you count all your loot up, you have $200 in cash from your family and friends that love you. And what's the first thing you want to do with that money? Oh, I'm going to go get the newest game, or, it's um, that want, that they see, or something that, tangible. Uh, and so we explain to them, even as young as 5 years old, that they get it. That, okay, if I have $20, I don't need to spend the whole $20 on just something frivolous. I can save $5. And then once you show them what that $5 can do compounded, their eyes, you see that there in the headlight look like, oh my God, this is something really that can happen. And the key is to getting the parents involved also. Because um, once the parents are involved, it can be um, a beautiful situation for that family. And sometimes it takes the kids going home and saying, "Hey, mom," or "Hey, dad, this is what I learned," and they have something to show to the parents that, hey, if we do this as a family, imagine what we can do. Uh, so it starts. My goal is to definitely get our kids all the way up until they leave high school and into college. If we can just touch, you know, um, reach out and touch those children, and then get their families, because sometimes the families do things because the kids came up with the idea, you know, and our kids are really smart, and we shouldn't count them out.
Earlier that you're from the island of St. Thomas.
Yes.
When was the last time you went home?
Oh, I haven't been home in a few years because my mom is here.
Okay.
And yes, so uh, I am due to go home during our festive season next year. I do plan to go,
Mhm.
and our carnival. And yeah, but my mom is here with me, and it's a beautiful thing. And yeah, so I'm just here with her and getting into stuff,
So
showing her around.
have you been eating up a lot of the Caribbean food? What's your favorite Caribbean food?
Uh, Sawfish and Ducana.
What is that?
So sawfish is a codfish
Mhm.
that's been corned, and
Mhm.
if back before there were refrigerators and ways of the way they preserve food was to corn it, and they use salt.
Mhm.
And so the codfish is salted, and they still do it today. It's sold. Shout out to MP's Island Cafe and Montego Bay restaurant. Those are some of the places that you can go to get saltfish. It's a corned codfish, and then you you soak it overnight, and then you boil it the next day, and you cook it up, and then you can you dukana is it's almost like a dumpling. For those of you that have never heard that, it's almost like a dumpling, but it's a bit um stronger than a dumpling, with coconut and spices. It's delicious. So, and I think everybody may know what a plantain is.
You know how to
So
make it? You know how to make dukana?
I do. I do.
Well, you hold it too. We want to taste. We want to taste it.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
ready.
while mom is here, we'll definitely have to get some going and
Mm,
invite you guys over. Definitely for Thanksgiving. Definitely for Thanksgiving.
yes. Talking about that, like, how do you? What advice would you give to folks who are maybe in America, but they're helping family in other countries? What type of financial advice would you give them? um, especially if they have a parent that's overseas, or maybe they have children that are overseas and they're constantly sending money there, and may feel like it's this they're having a hard time kind of making ends meet. And we know that for many of the folks who are here or who are in America and they're providing for families overseas, that they feel a real financial strain many times, because it's kind of hard sometimes for people, if they're not here to really understand the experience that you have to go through when having to get up in the morning to go to work and get a job, and then you have to kind of be that support system, financial support system, to your family and sometimes your friends overseas.
Awesome question. Every country has its own retirement system, has its own healthcare system. So that may look a little different um, uh, for folks that may have family, friends overseas that they may be providing for or assisting with the financial, um, uh, you know, taking care of their families back in uh, their native hometown. And the principles still resonate from country to country. Uh, we all want to have that nest egg for when we're retired, whatever retirement looks like, and that looks different for everyone. And so it's once again, like I said, the retirement system is different in various countries, but for those that are helping to provide for families in their home countries, the concepts are still the same. You have to provide, you have to protect yourself first, so that you can continue to provide for your family and friends that may be overseas. And you can apply some of the same concepts that we teach. Uh, Based on where that individual is at in their journey to financial freedom, because that's what it's about at the end. It's financial freedom, whether you're here, whether you're in the Caribbean islands, in Africa, Asia, it's all the same. It's building that finance. We all want to get to that to financial freedom, and it's just taking that first step to get there. And I like doing the money. I call it the money bag. My daughter used to call my mom when she was little money queen, because my dad would always say, "Go talk to your grandmother." So she was coined the money queen, but I call them money bags. And you may have seen these where, and anyone can do this no matter where they're at. Whatever, it can be done for a short term or a long term. Whatever amount you want to save, and it goes a little bit more goes into it. You stick the money into the little packets. I like to use the baseball cards, excuse me, packets. And so that's the way to start. So every week, you can do it every week. I don't recommend the everyday thing. I like the every week, uh, or biweekly if you get paid biweekly, and you just break it down to those manageable amounts that you put into but that takes discipline, and anyone anywhere can do that. And discipline um, is the name of the game. And like I said, not all of our clients are ready So that's where the coaching piece comes in, and we get them there. Because if you don't see a way to start, you'll never start. But if you have someone to go alongside you to help you along the way till you can see where how you can do that. And I'm sure they're I don't know if they call them coaches in other places, but yeah, I'm sure there are other people there that they can help that can help them with their finances. Good question. Thank you for that, Tremaine.
You're welcome. So I, what about funeral expenses? I hear people talking about it very often. Oh, I have a policy for my funeral. So they have a policy for their funeral. But I always ask them, well, what happens to your family? Like what happens, how much, what does the policy cover? And they said, well, cover my funeral expenses. And I'm like, okay, but what about your family? So can you talk a little bit about that?
It's called final expense, if
Mhm.
that's what I think I'm hearing you the question, Celine. It's called final expense, and uh they're different companies that that have that product. And once again, it's all how it's structured, how it's set up. And some funeral homes actually sell um, a final expense policy. And what the final expense policy does, it is there in your untimely demise. Like I said, it depends how it's structured. It can pay for you can set up your whole funeral, the obituary, you can set it all up before anything ever happens to you. And it pays for the whole funeral. And what that does, it alleviates the pain, further pain and discomfort for your family members, your kids, from having to prepare um, for your funeral, or if you want to be cremated, depending what you want to do. So it's a comprehensive plan, and like I said, depending how you structure it, that completely covers um, that aspect of your final expenses. And if it's structured right, there may be a part of that that can go to your dependents, or a trust, or a foundation, or a nonprofit. Um, so that there's no questions about where you would like um, that money to go to.
Vanetta,
Mhm.
we have lots of people in this profession doing similar to what you're doing or same as what you're doing. How do you separate yourself from the pack? We have lots of women in the field, we have lots of men in the field, lots of veterans in the field. What do you do for people to say, you know what, I want Venetta's service, I am going to go back to her?
So I will say, choose me and my company,
Mhm.
because we separate ourselves from the pack by first doing the coaching piece. You will never, or any client will never come to one of the coaches um, and say, okay, well, first thing we need to do is look at your money. That's something that we would never do to a client. Uh, like I said, everyone comes with a different mindset about where they want what they want for the future. And everyone is not ready at that point. So we help you, we sit and we talk to you about whatever it is that's giving you that mental block for whatever. It could be business, it could be retirement, it could be legacy building, it could also, I like to call it pivoting. There are folks that, uh, you know, have been doing a particular job for quite some time and they want to do something else. And so that pivot sometimes can be um, a hard thing to do. So we're here to help them along with that and walk alongside them with those various issues before we even speak about their finances. Now we do have those folks that come in that are ready um, and have um, the capital to do what they want to do for their legacy building, for their foundation. And so we meet people where they're at.
Awesome.
And yeah, and we walk right along with them. We do a lot of education and a lot of listening. Sometimes people don't listen to what others are saying to them, and sometimes it gives what we do a bad rap. But that's where the training, as far as coaching, comes along.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Awesome.
Mhm.
Awesome. Well, we're going to leave that listening piece for another time. But next week we're having the Health and Wellness Conference, and
yes,
Charles is going to be there, right?
yes, yes, yes.
Want to expound on that?
Well, I will
Well,
be happy to. I thought you were going to do it. But yes, well, the Health and Wellness Conference is October 25th, 26th, and 27th.
that's
It's
right.
going to be held at the Wyndham Hotel
Mhm.
in Virginia Beach. We're
Mhm.
so excited. It's an oceanfront hotel. So
5700 Atlantic Avenue.
yes,
Mhm.
and so we will have some grounding. We'll be walking on the sand on the beach. We are, if those who want to go into the ocean can also do that.
Mhm.
There's a heated pool
Mhm.
as well as an outdoor pool as well.
Mhm.
We're going to be doing reproductive. We'll talk about reproductive health.
Energy medicine, pickleball. Come on.
Yes, massage therapy, holistic
Finances,
health, financial
finances.
health, and those are some of the
Yes.
things we're going to be
Yes,
talking about. So
Yes.
yes,
we want you to come out because it's going to be an awesome
Mhm.
event. Venetta will be there, and she'll be talking to us
yes,
about financial health and what we
Mhm.
need to know.
Mhm.
And I just want to encourage us because I know for sure that many people feel uncomfortable sometimes
Mhm.
just having the conversation, financial conversation, especially when it involves insurance and death and so forth. But I want you to just be assured that this conversation that we're going to be having on the 25th, the 26th, and 27th is about health.
Mhm.
And when you think about
Mhm.
health, you think about life. You think about life and
yes,
living it abundantly and
Mhm.
living it in a way where you're joyful, where you're excited, where you're happy, where you're around people that are like-minded, where
yes,
you can be transparent
Mhm.
and just
Mhm.
let your hair down, so to speak, and have a good time. Whether or not you have hair, and have a good time
Thank
with
you.
people who really truly are on a journey together.
Mhm.
We are really committed to building the Empowered Lifestyle Network community where we are on our network. We have several channels. One of the channels is our health and wellness channel, and so this is why every quarter we're going to be having a conference, and each conference is going to be specifically in and around one of the channels because we are committed to bringing content and individuals to you that inspires, encourage, educate, and empowers. Because at the end of the day, that's what we all need. It's so easy to get information that may be disempowering, but for us, we're being very deliberate about having folks on our conversation on our podcast here who are really committed to those four pillars. And
That's
so
right.
we thank you, Ms. Venetta Charles, for being one of those individuals. And we're grateful that you have said yes to this great movement.
yes. It's going to be a great time, everyone. Come
Yes.
out.
Yes.
Um, if even if you're just curious to see what's happening, I like to make my events fun, my talks fun and engaging. So it's just not me speaking to you. It's you. It's a dialogue. It's a conversation. And this is going to be a amazing weekend. And yeah, just even if you're just curious as far as what's going on, just come on out. I guarantee you it will be worth worth your time and your energy to come on out. And there's so many things. There'll be vendors, and even if you want to be a vendor, there's still time.
Yes.
So yeah, so come on out, everyone, and enjoy this event. And I'm looking forward to it. Not only presenting, but being a support to Charmaine and George. And I'm just ecstatic. So thank you
Well,
all for
somebody wants to
doing
reach you.
this.
If somebody wants to reach you.
Well, let's
Yes.
give information first on how to get tickets for
Okay.
the event. Just go to Eventbrite
Right.
or go to empoweredlifestyle.tv. But if you go to Eventbrite, just type in Empower Health and Wellness Conference in Virginia Beach. You'll see us pop up right there. You can get your tickets. You can also give us a call at 757-512-8951. Again, that number is 757-512-8951 to get your tickets there as well. Venetta, please let people know how they can reach you.
Yes, you can go to the website, Legacy Connection, Preparing Today for the Future. You can also reach me via email, info at legacyconnectionteam.com, or you can always give me a call, text at 757-663-1495. Thank you, everyone, and thank you, lovely hosts, for a great evening of chat. And I thank you all so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Venetta.
Thank you. We're grateful that you've spent this evening with us. And those that are watching, thank you so much for spending the time to just be with us as we have this awesome conversations. These are awesome conversations, and it's been a pleasure speaking with Miss Venetta Charles. She's a master certified life coach. That is so powerful, and also a veteran
and financial specialist.
Yes. Thank you so much for watching the Empower Lifestyle Network podcast. Have an awesome day. Do not grow weary in well doing.
That's right. Stay
focused, stay inspired, stay encouraged. Know that there's always education out there, and be empowered. God bless you.
That's right.